Live from our 7 Tasmania studios, your nightly news with Rachel Williams begins now.
Good evening, everyone. Cooler weather has delivered firefighters a much-needed advantage as fires continue to burn across Tasmania. But there are now concerns over a blaze just 1 kilometre away from a coal mine in Fingal.
Yesterday, crews feared fire spreading into a national park. Today, they faced a different and sinister threat.
Of significant concern is the Duncan Colliery and the coal infrastructure in that area.
The coal mine is at the eastern edge of Fingal, now in the path of a slow-moving blaze from the south.
It's certainly moving in that direction, and a lot of our efforts are there to ensure that it doesn't impact that asset.
There are still 2 fires burning on both sides of the township. Firefighters used today's cooler weather to strengthen containment lines. Progress has also been made against blazes at Pelham, Strathgordon and Flinders Island. The easing conditions mean Tasmania now has more resources to spare, and tomorrow morning 41 firefighters will fly out of Launceston and Devonport, destined for the crisis in New South Wales. And for Tasmanians watching the devastation unfolding on the mainland, authorities warn the same could happen here.
We have the same conditions here as New South Wales, and it will eventuate that if we get bad fire days and we have fire on the landscape, that we could have exactly the same outcomes.
Sean McComish, 7 Tasmania News.
Police say a pedestrian tragically killed by a bus in Burnie yesterday was a tourist from New South Wales. 89-year-old Rima Bogdanova was visiting Tasmania as a cruise ship passenger. The collision occurred on Wilson Street just before 1 p.m. Police are urging any witnesses to come forward. Police have been left shaking their heads after a man allegedly drove erratically and under the influence of alcohol around beachgoers. Officers were called to 7 Mile Beach yesterday afternoon following worried calls from the public. A 55-year-old Risdon Vale man was charged with drink driving and has now lost his licence for 2 years. Police say the behaviour was especially concerning given the number of families at the beach. Another person has been rescued from the state's west coast following a trail bike crash near Granville Harbour. Police and the rescue helicopter located the 57-year-old man at Pyman River around 2:30 yesterday afternoon. He was airlifted to the Royal Hobart Hospital with minor head injuries. It comes after a quad bike crash in the same area on New Year's Day. Police urging people using tracks to carry satellite phones or EPIRBs. More than 100 community members have got their hands dirty to remove over a tonne of rubbish from the River Derwent. Today's mass clean-up even attracting some younger helpers out pushing their message to keep the environment clean.
Clambering over rocks, gloves on and bags in hand. At 12 years of age, these young eco-warriors are today picking up the slack for their future.
Even though it's other people's rubbish, we should probably clean it up because it's hurting the environment.
If we keep on doing it, then like rubbish polluting the earth, then there won't be a world for us when we grow up.
The Green Duo, helping out one of 7 community groups out climbing through thick reeds and water to clean along the River Derwent.
The most important thing is obviously for animal welfare. A lot of these areas are nesting areas in spring for birds. Something's got to be done. I mean, we can sit there and complain to councils and ask government to do more, but this is our rubbish. We purchased it, we consumed it. It's up to us to get rid of it.
You don't mind getting in the mud and the water?
Not really.
If it saves our environment, then what's a little bit of mud got to do?
The day's efforts, removing an estimated 1.5 tonnes of waste and carefully sorted by Australian waterway cleaning organisation Ocean Crusaders.
The problem with the plastic pollution is too big for just one little group to tackle today. So the more we are, the more we can clean and the more we spread the word.
It's kind of sad.
Yeah, it's
like there's a bin up there. Why can't you just use it?
Yeah, walk over and put it in the bin. It's not that hard.
Ruby Kamain, 7 Tasmania News.
The sound of chopping filled a Tasmanian heritage town today as axemen and women from across the country competed in the annual Thousands event. Renowned woodchopper Dale Beams from Winkley took out the coveted Harry Mulcahy Memorial Prize.
I just thought, well, them 2 young guys are down the back end there and they're going to take a bit of handling, so I thought, well, I'll just do what I do, make sure I get the first 4, get him opened up big and strong and go for it.
The handicap competition has been running nationwide for nearly 60 years. Meanwhile, the Hobart Hurricanes are preparing to face the Scorchers in Perth later tonight, but they've suffered a major injury blow. Star all-rounder James Faulkner is expected to miss between 2 to 4 weeks after scans revealed a low-grade calf tear. He sustained the injury while bowling against the Brisbane Heat on Friday night. Tom Rogers has taken his place in the squad. Tasmania's premier real tennis event has come to a close in Hobart this afternoon. Great Britain's John Lumley and Melbourne's Chris Chapman faced off in the final of the Governor's Cup. Watched on by a passionate crowd, the two squared off in a 5-set thriller, with Lumley eventually taking out the win after 3 hours of play. It's the first Cup played since 1999, with the event serving as a lead-up to next week's Australian Open. Josh Duffy has backed up last week's victory in the Launceston wheel race by taking out the Hobart event this afternoon. It was an eventful carnival at Newtown, with both the men's and women's gifts producing first-time winners.
Josh Duffy is a rising star on the Australian cycling scene, with the 19-year-old weeks away from heading to Adelaide to join the Track Cycling Academy. He's leaving Tasmania in winning form, backing up his Launceston efforts with a win in today's Steve Daly wheel race.
It's nice, it's a good little send-off for me. Really nice to do in front of a Tas crowd, and yeah, it's good fun.
He started off scratch alongside Olympian Zach Williams and Burnie wheel race winner Stephen Hall. With 200 metres to go, Duffy came through on the outside to take the lead and never looked back.
He won back-to-back in Launceston and he's going to win in Hobart. Josh Duffy takes the Hobart wheel.
I made sure I geared up for that race, because it's good downhill there, so made sure I really could have that kick and just drop some power there, try and get around everyone.
In the men's gift, a new local talent emerged. Sandy Bay's 17-year-old Moses Kazif won the men's off a 5-metre handicap in 10.62 seconds.
I'm fairly happy with it. Been in and out of form lately, so pretty good to get a win out here. I had a 70-metre win at Richmond, and yeah, this first one since then.
While in the women's, Jess Lydon, wearing the pink on the left, stormed home in 11.86 seconds. The 31-year-old, who has battled injury in the past, crediting her training regime for the result.
I went and did some CrossFit, but I learned how to do, my own gym programs, which has been beneficial because I've learned how to make my body strong.
John Hunt, 7 Tasmania News.
Still a Star has shown her potential, taking out the $100,000 Tasmanian Guineas in Launceston last night. The 3-year-old filly sat second for most of the race before hitting the front in the home straight to win by 3/4 of a length.
Still a Star, the outsider, neck in front, now a half-length clear. Argyle Beach won't give it away, though. Still a Star under vigorous riding from McCool. Still a Star takes the Guineas, wins by 3.
Argyle Beach was second, with My Word Is finishing in third.
Good evening. 23 was the state's top today in Hobart. Temperatures reaching at 22 about Launceston and Burnie and 20 in Devonport. 18 about King Island, Lowhead and Strawn, 20 in Smithton and Lyweenie, 17. On the close-up, patchy low-level cloud over the west and a large high-level cloud band over the north of the state. Further out, a large high-level cloud band extends from northern WA to near New Zealand, while there is an isolated storm over northeast New South Wales. Tomorrow shows a high over Tasmania, while a trough runs down the Western Australia coast. Westerly winds tomorrow 10 to 20 knots about the south. Southeast to northeasterly winds elsewhere up to 15 knots. Swells 2.5 metres in the west and south and up to 1 metre in the north. Tomorrow's forecast now: Hobart a sunny 23, Dover 21, Ooze a high of 28. In the north, looking sunny in Launceston, Devonport 22, Scottsdale a mostly sunny 23. Mostly sunny and 21 across Burnie and Strawn tomorrow, 20 in Stanley. St Helens and Swansea reaching 23 and Ross a sunny 27. The UV forecast mostly extreme 11s across the state. Looking ahead to the 3-day forecast, Tuesday mostly fine with light winds. Wednesday possible showers in the far south, and Thursday fine apart from possible evening showers about the north. Capital cities, partly cloudy and 31 at Alice Springs tomorrow. Melbourne expecting a shower or two, and Sydney reaching a high of 25. And Hobart currently 19, Launceston 19 and mostly sunny, and Devonport 18 and mostly sunny. That's all in weather tonight, Rach.
Great, thank you for that, Jackie. Well, that's all your news for now. Thanks for joining us. Good night.